It's the Bush League Mud Show. It's the Bush League Mud Show. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Make some noise!
Yo, what is going on? It is another edition of the Bush League Mud Show. Slade
PJ.
Giving it to you on March the 2nd. If you're into Lynch, then today would be day number 1 for you, giving that up. 40 days. I'm more into the 40 days and 40 nights. If you have never seen that movie, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you do.
Give
if you
something
do,
else up. That's what you're talking about.
only immature fucks listen to us. So, of course, they've seen 40 days and 40 nights. It is your WWE Raw and AEW Dynamite review. We didn't give you a Raw review a couple of nights ago. Yours truly, man, been battling this nasty stomach bug. I don't know. I don't know if
you're not kayfabing it
the
either.
fix is in.
Yeah.
Somebody's making sure I don't make it to Mania, huh?
I guess. Yeah. The road is looking unclear here.
Yeah. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and be sure to follow us on social media. We'll follow back, Bush League MS Pod. WWE Raw. I guess we could kick this off first. I mean, because this whole week it was all about the big time announcement for Tony Khan, and being that they were the Wednesday night show. We'll jump on them after we get done with the Raw. But Raw, we're getting a little bit more further into Mania season, in which we're starting to really shape up and really starting to lock in things that we'll be expecting on this card. It's another skeptical Mania season, if you will, because we're it's all about, well, we want to go through this new wave of how we do things with the talent. We need new stars. We need new this. We need new that. But we're hearing rumors of Austin.
Yes.
We're hearing rumors, even though I still say Austin Theory will be wrestling in the place of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it ain't going to be.
You really have the internet thinking that Vince McMahon was really going to be in the ring against Pat McAfee.
He's not going to be in the ring, folks.
We're still hanging on the edge for as long as we can.
Yes, we are.
Brock Lesnar's put on more mileage, probably within the last 6 months, than he has over the last several years. You can make that argument. So we're really trying to hang on to yesterday rather than, and I told you with Monday Night Raw when we watched it Monday, it was really a travesty to see, I'm looking at Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, what a waste. And I'm looking at Damien Priest, and we'll jump on that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's like Vince couldn't fucking help himself. He can't help himself with already established, all you got to do, it's already a well-oiled machine. I would at least think that Vince could be trusted enough with his constituents there in Stamford to take what has already been molded in NXT into a main roster-ready product in a Rhea Ripley and a Damien Priest. Mm-hmm. They can graduate to the main roster, and we can just continue it from there without fucking with anything. But instead, we want to put them with almost superheroes. Yes. We want to see a dark side. We want to see some 666 shit.
Well, even on the same show, T-Bar, Dominic Dijakovic got just run over by Omos, and it's just like, this guy was something
that we haven't
major down at NXT. And they are just treating him like absolute trash on the main roster. I guess we shouldn't be surprised, because that's where NXT goes to die. And true to form, like you're saying, why is Rhea in this match? She should be in the championship picture once again with Mania time here. Damien Priest as well. He should start to be elevating. We'll find out if this program is going to lead something to more as we get into it here. But you're right on with all the happenings right now.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to go into Monday Night Raw in its entirety in terms of in order. We're just going to break down basically the most important parts of this show, and then we'll trickle down and give you results in terms of matches. This was all about what ended the end of the night. This is all building up around who was going to answer the call for Edge for WrestleMania. And he came out last week, gave this passionate speech about who wants it, who wants to face him. He'll make him famous, not necessarily verbatim in those words, but in that kind of a way. And this is an event that since he was a kid, he's always looked forward to. He's been a part of them. He's main evented one. He needs someone that's going to take the opportunity to face him. Our prediction was AJ Styles. Who
Yeah,
have they?
Yep.
Now we didn't know. We got our answer at the end of the show in terms of what roles these guys are going to play.
Yeah.
But it was, okay, you don't have anything else for AJ at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we broke AJ off from Omos right at the right time, I guess, now looking back at it in retrospect.
Yeah.
They broke off right, before the Rumble. So they
were able to throw AJ in the Elimination Chamber. He was part of the championship match.
Yes.
They threw him in there.
Yeah. So we got that answer, and we ended up being 100% correct on that, as I'm sure a lot of you were, by the way. And we also want to hear your or see your comments too, and let us know what you thought of these shows as well as we go down and run through them. But Edge got his challenger. It was AJ Styles coming out, and they faced each other. They stared each other down the ring, and Edge said that he wanted to see the dog. He wanted to see the bulldog, the vicious, the AJ Styles that everyone knows and loves, and not the tag team bitch that's been with Omos for the last year.
This promo was somewhat reminiscent of what we saw Wednesday night.
Very.
I mean,
very.
And I know they were trying to do different things, but when the wording was coming out, I'm like, I think we saw this with Kingston and Jericho just the other night.
Yeah. So, Styles answered the call. He took that vicious verbal jab from Edge, and then Edge stuck the hand out, wanted a handshake, and Styles was like, well. Anyways, Edge snaps, unleashed a vicious, brutal attack on Styles. So, which really threw me for a loop. And this was very reminiscent as well as 2 years ago with the Orton thing to set up their match at Mania.
Yeah, with Beth
in
the ring. Yep.
With the whole thing with the chairs and the beat down and the and it's kind of like, well, you wanted someone to come challenge you at Mania, Edge. Wouldn't it be wise to not beat them down so badly to the point where they might not fucking make it to Mania?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. But he basically a low blow to Styles. And he did low blow him, right? Did he kick him in between the legs too? I feel like
so, AJ was getting ready to do a phenomenal forearm after the initial.
Yes.
All this it broke loose, and then that's when all of it happened.
So we got some chair shots to the head, a few of them, and that's how you ended your show in Columbus. And I got to say, this crowd in Columbus, for the most part, I thought the canned crowd noise was dominating the night.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't take it because you could look at the actual reactions in the crowd. They were not matching up with what that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was. We didn't finally really get a genuine, loud crowd reaction that I would say until RK Bro actually came out. I felt.
Yeah, that's how it's been with the reactions with them lately, wherever they go. And I guess that's why they've been ending Raws. They've been in the main event the last couple weeks, or last couple months now, because that's the reaction they're getting all over.
And the main event of this, Edge and Styles with the whole stare down, the attack, that got also another loud one as well. So, but that's how we ended up ending it. Your thoughts on this? My biggest issue was the segment before that. It was very similar. I didn't understand the back-to-back heel turn segments, but in this case, just talking about this, keeping this on an island, somebody had to go into this as the babyface. Somebody had to go into it as a heel. We've been slowly but surely over the last several months turning AJ back into a babyface. And let's face it, Edge is at his best when he's a heel.
Yep.
Always has been.
Absolutely right. Yep. And that's what we've been waiting for, too. This has been a good comeback tour. He's come back, the surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. It's been, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years
You can make
now?
the argument that he was starting to turn heel last year.
Yeah.
With the bitching and moaning.
Yes.
Going into the triple
I think
threat
that may
with
have been
the main event.
The plan. Because remember, Danielson was the late kind of add to that match because they didn't think they had enough sizzle for that main event or what. I don't know what they were thinking. They just didn't want to do Reigns and Edge straight up. So because Danielson fought his way into that match with some of the matches he was having and then the crowd reaction and a crowd favorite, obviously with the crowd's back at the stadium in Tampa, wanted to get that feel-good pop or whatever in that match. So But yeah, when he was doing the chair thing last year, he was ripping the bottom heel of the chair and using that as choking people off and stuff like that.
Or even just in the programs with the promos, he was coming across as a crybaby heel.
But then it looked like they must have put pause on this until here we go. And heel edge definitely needed. I'm wondering, is this going to be a stipulation match now with the beatdown that he had? Is this going to be like a no-holds-barred match or something like that? Because I just wanted a plain old match between these two. And now that you started off like this, I'm afraid there's going to be some kind of stipulation.
Do you think they're afraid of doing anything besides some type of gimmick-themed matches with Edge?
Well, that's all he's been in for Mania. Well, I guess the triple threat you could say, because they pulled out triple chairs and all kinds of shit, and then the
triple threat you can get a little bit of rest time in
and
that.
And then there was the golf announcing match with the no show when the no fan Mania when they were on top of a semi truck and all
mixed
kinds
tag
of shit
match.
Yeah,
would you say really? Maybe the Rollins match.
That was probably the last one.
That was the only one I can think of.
Is that the one he got hurt in the Orton? The greatest wrestling match of all time, Orton match, is where he got hurt again. Not with the neck, but I could see where they're trying to be a little cautious with Edge right now.
Over under, these two will probably end up having the best match on the card at Mania.
Yeah, I would have to assume what night they put them on. I would think they're going to go on Sunday night, maybe, the way things are lining up from what was reported there, what they have confirmed that it looks like the two women's matches are going to be on Saturday night. So, I mean, it's going to be up there on the card. I'm not going to go out and say it's going to be the best match, but I guess our expectations are it's going to be way up there. So hopefully it matches all our expectations.
Yeah. Overall, I thought the segment to end the show, I thought it was well done. We've seen these over and over plenty of times, but I guess it's always, depending on the two parties and fresh faces involved in the angle, I can always get with it. We found a place for AJ. AJ's in a meaningful match at Mania. It's not like it's him losing to Jericho. It's not him in a match with Shane.
Or Omos.
So,
I mean, you think about his Mania matches, the only one that really maybe stands out is the one with Taker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he had the Shinsuke match, I guess. Was that for the title, if I remember?
That was for the
right?
title. Shinsuke was the Royal Rumble winner going into that match.
But
AJ was champ.
The most notable thing was probably with Taker.
But it's been a few years.
Yeah.
So I like that. The segment before, that was the United States Championship match. So the last match on this card for the evening, that would have been Damien Priest, the champion, versus Finn Balor, the challenger. Balor and Priest, they went back and forth. Solid match, not a bad match at all. Priest nearly retained the title with a South of Haven choke slam. However, Priest then tried to follow up with the Reckoning. Balor was able to counter that, hit a shotgun drop kick before nailing Priest with a coup de grace for the 3 count to win the title. So after the match, we get Priest, who's on the mic. He tells Balor that the crowd carried him to win the title. They were on his side the entire time during the match, even leading up to it. When they found out that he was going to be challenging for it, the crowd was always on his side. Priest says that, the entire time that he's had the title, no one's loved and appreciated him. Nowhere in the ballpark is what they loved and appreciated Balor in that one night. So we ended up getting Damien Priest, who's been doing snap. Now, and I never took it as heel shit. I just took it as, well, all right, he's just a big guy and, a big tatted up guy who's just doing shit here and there. Not really knowing where this is going to lead, but, well, it led to a
personality thing.
Yeah.
That Vince wants him to have.
This ended up completing a heel turn for Damien Priest right before we got a heel turn from Edge.
Yeah.
So we got a heel turn out of Damien Priest, and he starts hitting Balor with some cheap shots, saying that he would win the title back, and Priest ends up ending the post-match attack with a razor's edge on the commentary table.
Yeah.
And then our last image of Damien Priest is him walking up the ramp and giving the too sweet hand gesture.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this, PJ? You're with the Damien Priest.
I'm with the heel turn.
Okay.
And I think this was a plans change, pal, because of the Bobby Lashley injury. They need some heels to take that spot, even though I don't know what you consider Lashley anymore, but they need a big guy, a heel potentially in that spot, and I'm for it. He looked damn good as a heel. I'm with you with the problem, though, is this should have been done hour one of the goddamn show or two and get it away from the end. I don't know why the hell they planned it back to back. That they usually do a better job of that than anyone on planning that shit if they're going to do it. Like I said, I think it's a plans change, pal, and Damien Priest, we're going to make you heel now.
Would you say that it was also time to graduate Damien Priest from that title?
Yeah.
At this point, I think it's safe to say Finn Balor, I don't see him anymore being in the world title picture in this company ever again.
Yeah, not for now. Yeah.
At least you can give him purpose.
Change. Yeah.
You give him a belt where he can have an open challenge, put on good matches.
Yeah.
At this point, they see him as a great mid-card title guy.
Yeah.
So this is what he is at this point. It doesn't have to be an awful thing. Miz has been living on that for about 11, 12 years.
Well, hell, who knows? I mean, maybe this is just a heel run.
And
for
reportedly,
Priest.
Miz is one of the highest paid guys in the company, reportedly.
So maybe this is a heel run for Priest, and maybe they're looking very long-term. Switch him back to Baby, and he could be a big-time opponent for Roman down the road. I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm going to guess long-term, maybe that's what they're looking at.
We opened this show off with the KO show. He and Rollins, they're out, and they're talking their ish, talking about how they plan on being the tag team champs. They get interrupted by Alpha Academy, and this led to a jumping in the ring, which ended up leading to eventually a match on this show in which Owens and Rollins ended up defeating by pinfall the Alpha Academy clean.
Yeah.
Rollins, he curb stomped Gable. And, I mean, there you go.
The booking's getting weird with them because they are a really good tag team. But now, you hear all the reports of Owens and Stone Cold. And again, he comes out with the damn cowboy hat on and picks on Texas, which, I mean, a week before, I thought, okay, maybe the Stone Cold match ain't happening because.
But it's like they have to justify Owens and Rollins being in this triple threat by giving them the win over the champs.
Yeah,
which I'm like, you could have had them, but would you have wanted to see Owens and Rollins again against RK Bro?
I'm guessing they gave them the win because they're not winning the titles on this triple threat tag team match coming up Monday night. That's my guess, is they'll give them a win here, but damn, they're looking damn good together. It's going to be hard. I mean, RK Bro and them as a Mania match would be pretty damn good for tag team titles, but it sounds like we're not headed in that direction at all.
We got a squash match. Omos over T-Bar, as you mentioned earlier on the podcast. Choke bomb, boom, 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Yeah.
We ended up getting a 6 ladies tag match. Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, defeating the team of Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki A.S.H. by pinfall. Belair, she ends up hitting Nikki with the KOD. Lynch was left. She ended up leaving the match after Belair used her hair to whip the torso of the Raw Women's Champ. That left Nikki as the scapegoat to eat the pin.
Should have they saved that for Mania?
Well,
I got to ask you that because I know you want to make something and draw, for the video
my biggest issue of this match was
damn.
that they touched each other a little bit too much.
Yes.
They worked each other a little bit too much for this match.
Yeah.
Becky being supposed to be the heel champ now, every time she found herself in the ring and Bianca got tagged in, she should have either tagged out or just dropped off the apron, walked off, something. I don't mind a few blows here and there, but then that's it.
Yeah.
I just thought they worked a little too long in this match. My thing is you got 4 other ladies in this match that could have carried this match without the actual main card draw for Mania working one another.
I mean, we just remember that spot last year against Sasha in the main event match when she just whipped the shit out of her. That was a big moment in that match to help her win the title. Yeah, for at Mania, and I'm like, God, they should have waited on that spot. They should have waited, maybe for the go home or something like that. But I thought it was way too early to use the hair whipping spot against Becky.
Something to continue the NXT 2.0 angle between Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa after Roode cost Ciampa the match against Ziggler last week on NXT 2.0. We got a match on Raw of Roode versus Ciampa. Ciampa defeated Roode via pinfall with the almighty roll up. Moving on, we ended up with some 24/7-ish. Got the team of Dana Brooke and Reggie defeating Tamina and Tozawa.
That's all we need for that.
Well, the best part of this was finally Tozawa got what he's been wanting for weeks. A smooch on the lips from Tamina.
So Tamina's down with the dumb shit now.
Now, this was after Brooke had also kissed Reggie.
Yes.
I'm done. I'm going to tell you, I'm done because after Otis and Mandy Rose failed, I don't want to see anyone else have romance in this company. Fuck it. I don't want to see anyone else have romance in this company. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's not possible. All right. Still coming out. They're still hanging on to it. They can't let it go, PJ. Although they got a fucking win. This was the most confusing part of Monday Night Raw for me. The Mysterios losing to the Hurt Business.
Yes.
Of Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander.
Come on now. They need a little momentum. Cause a little tension between the Mysterios.
Benjamin ends up rolling up Dominic. Dominic, he was distracted by The Miz, who had ran outside down to the ring, grabbed his foot. That caused Ray to give chase. That allowed Benjamin to get the quick roll-up pin.
Another roll-up.
And then in one of the scariest parts, if not the scariest part of Monday Night Raw, we got a tag team match, RK Bro versus the Street Profits. Now, we're not going to go move for move for you on this, but we get a moment in this match. Ford and Orton, they're going at it. Dawkins and Riddle, they got their own thing going on the outside. And Montez Ford, who gets a lot of elevation on that frog splash. He's got Orton set up in the middle of the ring. And he gets extremely high with this thing. So he takes off, and when he lands, I mean, he just lands right on Orton's arm, shoulder, and Orton immediately starts clenching. It's on the right side. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's a pause moment and you can kind of see Orton's mouth moving a bit. So, it's like, fuck, is this another Kofi?
Yeah.
Is this another Kofi?
Yeah.
Is this a Mr. Anderson type of, like, what we got going on here? So Ford goes for the pin. Orton puts the leg on the rope, the foot on the rope. Dawkins throws the foot off. Ref continues to count. Street Profits get the win over RK Bro. Now at the end of this match, all four guys are congregated inside the ring. The ref is playing the mediator, and you can tell there's some talking going on there. So
some real heat on this.
Well,
maybe?
I don't know that I have not seen that story, but you know, you could see the concern on both Dawkins and Ford's face. You could see concern on Riddle's face, and clearly Orton looks like he's in pain. He's still clenching the right arm, and it's said that the medics actually had to come down and help Orton up the ramp after off. Now, as of right now, there's said to be no injury that we're aware of, but. That was, hopefully that they're saying that this should not cause Orton to be out for Mania.
Well,
so
whatever their Mania
hopefully
plans
there's no fracture, no break, no nothing, but a very scary moment, by the way. But it was said that with the whole foot on the ropes incident that Dawkins actually called a heads up and called an audible and threw the foot off because that match, I guess, was supposed to go on much longer. Mm-hmm. And Dawkins didn't want to take that chance of Orton further being hurt. So.
Yeah, you could tell with the timing, too, of the show that maybe this was not timed in to be the spot to end the match. So I think how they had to go along, that was an issue.
As I'm watching this live, I'm surprised, of course, the Street Profits even got the victory.
Yeah. Yeah,
so.
I'm guessing it was not planned for that because they probably want RK Bro to have a little momentum going into this big match on Monday. And who knows their status now? Do they get the Lashley treatment of, well, Orton's injured, so he got injured somehow in the match, and they're not going to pull it off and win. So we'll see come Monday with this big tag team championship coming up.
And that was your WWE Raw review. That was what happened there. Now on to the Wednesday night show of AEW Dynamite. They were back at Daly's place, PJ.
I thought they were never going there ever again after that one video package 4 shows ago at Daly Place.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
This one was all based around the huge announcement that Tony Khan was going to be making that couldn't wait, apparently. And after we got the announcement, it wasn't the fact that we got the announcement that we did. It was the fact that this couldn't wait until Revolution.
Or after.
Yeah. We're days away from that. So think about that. We're days away. It couldn't wait another 3-4 days.
Well, you know how he loves his history. When was the WCW thing made? A week going into Mania.
This Dynamite ended up match-wise being headlined by the massive 6-man tag team match that was going to be Hangman Adam Page and the number 1 contender Adam Cole. Their respective factions. We got Cole, O'Reilly, Fish versus Page, and members of the Dark Order. That was going to be your main event. Let's just get on to what this was all about in terms of Tony Khan's big announcement. He kicked off the show in the ring with the mic, cutting his I told you, listening to Tony Khan on the mic, it's like he's trying to cut a promo. I don't need a promo. I just need you to be Tony Khan. I just need you to be the owner.
Don't be screaming to get these marks off their feet.
Everybody knows you're the owner
for you anyways.
Right.
Just go in there
because you
calm,
represent
collected.
the alternative product.
Yep.
You own the alternative product.
You don't have to go out there screaming your heads off, shaking, and everything else. And think about the normal viewer that just tuned in. They're like, this is the owner of that fucking company.
Yeah. Well, he kicked off the episode with a monumental, huge announcement. Now, I knew this was on my top 3 of things that might be announced, but I had it number 3.
Yeah.
But he is the new owner of Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor that Sinclair has been trying to dump.
Congrats to Sinclair.
So,
I know we're on opposite ends of this.
Well,
but
I don't know if we're necessarily on opposite ends, but I said the most lucrative part of this, and I know you're thinking about it from a TV stance. I think Ring of Honor, if anything, could be used as a minor league call-up system for AEW if you want to use it for that. Maybe there's a reason why Jay Lethal's been working majority dark and elevation matches. Maybe that's to get these guys ready. Maybe Lethal's gonna go and help out with the new Ring of Honor under Tony Khan's ownership. And do that. But I said the library.
Yes.
The library, I think, is the most lucrative because you have a lot of people on that roster who have come through the ROH ranks. Even his biggest stars that have recently worked in New York were at one point, this is where they won their first world title, was in Ring of Honor. Your CM Punks, your Bryan Danielsons, your Young Bucks, your guys like that. So I think that the library is good. I know your thing. You said, well, it's not Austin in those videos. It ain't The Rock.
Well, because we were comparing to WCW when WWE bought that for peanuts. And there were some pretty damn big legends. Ric Flair and all that. And I think they own that. They got all of the Crockett stuff, too, thrown into there. So you got even more legends. And I don't want to, throw any shade on Punk, Danielson, and those guys, but they're up there, but they're not that tippy top guys. And I think that's where the big difference is, where people just say, oh, they got the library. Well, that's fantastic. Right now, I know they work with Turner, and HBO Max is a part of a subsidiary of Turner, so it may end up on there, but they have nowhere to put this shit right now. So right now, he's got a lot of good stuff going, I guess. He's got a lot of content, but nowhere to go with it. And you only have 2 time slots on Turner right now on TV, and now you buy this new entity. So is Rampage going to turn into the ROH show But you only get 1 hour to get all that shit in.
Is it a possibility that he could keep it syndicated on Sinclair?
No.
It's no longer,
No way in hell.
they no longer own it, so they don't have to worry about the expenses part.
I think they're
program.
out of the wrestling. If they're not making a dime on it, they're not gonna air it.
Okay.
Tony Khan would have to pay for the TV time, or they'd have to get a sponsor. I would have to think for that, for them to even think about it. Because I think they shift their focus of programming to other directions, and I don't see that happening.
Now, the show got a little awkward here. Well, not awkward, but a little sideways, although it got back on track because it got us to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
But he ended up introducing two men in the first match of the evening on this show, two guys who competed in the first main event of the company's history back in 2002. Bryan Danielson in a match versus Christopher Daniels,
Welcome
who we
back.
have not seen
Yes.
on television.
I thought he retired or whatever the deal was when he lost that one match about 9 months ago.
Well, he and Kazarian were to break
That's
up as
right.
a
They
tag
broke
team.
up the tag team. SCU.
Yeah. But we haven't seen Daniels since. So
Yeah.
they kick off this match, and they put on a typical classic ROH-style wrestling clinic. And so the fans were into this for the most part. Danielson, predictably, he scored the win, choking him out with the triangle choke. After the match, he vowed to stomp Jon Moxley's head in at Revolution. Proceeded to do the same on the Fallen Angel. And that's when we get Jon Moxley hitting the ring and cutting a promo on the American Dragon ahead of their match Sunday night. So it ends with a stare down. And, regardless if you like the news or not about the Ring of Honor, that took more of a center stage approach than what the match is supposed to be, Danielson and Moxley.
Yeah.
And I think they've had something good going into Revolution.
Very much so.
And my thing was, it wasn't the fact that he announced that he had bought Ring of Honor. I just think he could have made the announcement at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Exactly. That could have been a pay-per-view announcement, or you wait till next week when your slate is clear.
I don't think there's anything monumental about it because they have no roster.
Exactly.
They have no
roster.
roster.
The Briscoes, apparently, that might be still in
They're
the
the only
contract.
enticing part of ROH that anyone gives a damn about right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. And like you said, he's picked off so much of their talent.
Ring of Honor was the victim of AEW existing.
I mean, it's true. They don't want to hear. Some people don't want to hear that. No. It was good because they were both going at WWE. No. Because he was picking over the roster.
ROH understood who they were and what they were going to be long term, and they were cool with that.
Yeah.
And then when you had the first All or Nothing.
Yes, and you had like half the guys on the damn show.
And you start picking these guys off. ROH, they suffered for that.
Exactly.
SCU with Scorpio Sky and Kazarian and Daniels. They were one of the first to leave. Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Omega, a lot of these guys, they left, and that really left ROH high and dry.
Yeah, didn't that screw them over for one of the special shows, too? One of the Mania weekend shows, if I remember right, that they were supposed to have a G1 Super Show, and I don't think half the talent was available because they weren't there anymore.
Yeah. The Tag Team Casino Royale match, this was a 15-team.
Was it 15? Because this got damn long. With some of those teams trotting down, I was going to come in and ask you, how many teams are they letting into this? Whoever can find a fucking partner to run down the ring, because it was getting that way.
Well, we got 10 last week, 15 in this one. Your teams, we had the Acclaimed, we had Top Flight with Dante and the returning Darius Martin. We had FTR, we had the Butcher and the Blade. We had Bear Country. We had Santana and Ortiz. We had Best Friends of Beretta and Chuck Taylor. We had Dark Order's Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. And then we also had the Dark Orders, Preston Vance and Allen Angels. We had the Young Bucks. We had Ryan Nemeth and Peter Avalon that we have not seen in a while.
Yeah.
We had the Gun Club, Austin and Colton getting another crack at it.
Oh, they got shit on big time.
We got Brock Anderson and Lou Johnson.
Welcome.
And we got 2.0. These guys can't win shit in this company. But
why
yet
the
they
fuck
continue
didn't Tully and Arn just run down together, too, while they're at it?
This was for the third and final spot in three-way dance for the AEW Tag Team Championship that's going to be at stake in the Tag Team Casino Royale, in which Tag teams were entered at timed intervals, which were very quick ones.
It was supposed to be 1:30, but the Acclaim rap was about 1:15.
Yeah.
By the time they got in the ring,
it was time for the next.
Was already on.
Yeah. FTR's Harwood and Wheeler, they start off at number 1. They lasted far into the match. They were one of the very final, at least Harwood was. Starved off some elimination in search of another tag team title opportunity. Then we got the arrival of both Parker and Lee in the final spot. Rapid-fire eliminations then started to ensue. That cleared out the ring. And then we got an appearance by Danhausen. He appeared. He put a curse on Evil Uno, and Beretta eliminated the big man. Moments later after that, FTR, they end up dumping both Santana and Ortiz. This got a pretty big boo from the crowd because I'm sorry, the fans feel like they've been teased lately with Santana and Ortiz.
Yes.
What the fuck are we doing with these guys? We had it seem like, these guys are breaking away from Jericho in the Inner Circle. They're finally going to get what's due to them, and no, they lose both tag team battle royals, and then they're bumping fists later on the show with fucking Jericho like everything's all gravy.
Yeah, this thing was this was a mess. And who they were trying to push. Even if they're not going to win.
Well, we knew who was going to win this thing.
We know who was going to win, but even so, Santana and Ortiz should have factored into the final of this match.
So they're on your mind when it's time for new challengers.
And just like the Gun Club, too, we mentioned, they were in the tag team match.
I like the Gun Club.
I do, too. They dumped them out the minute they got in the ring. FTR and also the Bucks took one of them. They each threw them out and just shit on them.
Dante Martin, Wheeler, they end up eliminating each other while the Bucks dumped Harwood. That left it down to Matt, Nick, the Young Bucks versus Darius Martin of Top Flight.
And I didn't understand why Top Flight was still. I mean, that's when I saw that going on with Martin. I understand he's coming back from an injury, but they weren't that over when he was there. Dante Martin, I mean, they've gotten over without all this going on here.
Well, Nick got sent out to the floor by Martin. That left it down to both Matt and Darius Martin. We got a dramatic exchange on the apron between both Matt and Darius. That gave way to the Matt giving a low blow, kicking him right in the nuts, and then super kicking him to eliminate what was a resilient babyface throughout this whole thing, knocked him out. Now, this came with the help as well of Red Dragon, of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, so they had the assist in helping the Bucks win this thing, and they were starting to embrace one another in the ring. That was when Jurassic Express ended up ending the segment by coming out and staring them down. So there you go. Your triple threat tag team match for the belts will be Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy versus Young Bucks versus Red Dragon.
All right. We got there what we thought we were going to get out of this. It was pretty much planned out.
We got CM Punk making his way down to the ring to address MJF's promo from last week. He went back and forth with himself, questioning everything that was said a week ago. He recalled the heinous things that MJF has done, including attacking Adem Malenko, who is suffering from Parkinson's disease. That is real life, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
When MJF made his way down to the ring, Punk admitted that he may not be the good guy, but he sure is trying. He extended his hand out to MJF, who decided to take it to the next level. He said, well, fuck the hand. Let's go all out. Let me give you a hug.
Shake, brothers hug.
Yeah, so he hugs, and I swear, if everybody in the arena, if everybody watching, if everybody and their mama who was watching didn't know
it was coming,
you knew it.
Yes.
This lasted seconds, and after that, a low blow from MJF to CM Punk. This led to a course of boos from the fans, who obviously knew that this shit was coming. Heat Seeker gets thrown in there too. A pile driver. And then he ends up ripping off his dress shirt. He strips that down, and then we get a T-shirt of a picture of him and Punk together 14 years earlier.
Yes.
As this is going on, we get Wardlow and Shawn Spears. They're making their way down to the ring, and we get a dog collar. MJF with the chain. They're attacking Punk.
Yeah.
Beat him down. They bust him open. FTR, they looked very awkward all throughout this thing, like they didn't belong.
Yeah, they're just sitting there on the ramp, just
because we barely see them with Pinnacle.
Yeah,
and we had just got done seeing these guys in the Tag Team Battle Royal.
Yeah, it was out of place.
Well, they were used for one thing and one thing only, just the two of them, Harwood and Wheeler. Beat up AEW security.
Which ain't hard. Because they usually don't run in.
Proving they are the worst security in all the land.
Yes, they are.
They are the worst. They got beat down.
Mall cops no longer on the bottom rung of security, guys.
It's
AEW security.
MJF ended up hanging Punk by the dog collar and the straight edge superstar's face. He's painted with a crimson mask. Then we get finally Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara making the call to come down to make the save, and that cleared the ring. So there you go.
And you'll find out.
CM Punk clearly wasn't watching the angle between MJF and Cody Rhodes.
No.
And MJF and Chris Jericho.
Yeah. I like the promo and everything, and this was all backwards though. The staging. This should have been. The thing last week should have been the first promo. This week should have been last week's. And then the dog collar introduction should have been for tonight's show going to the match. Because you knew, though, like you said, going in, everyone knew MJF was not going to be this heartfelt character. You know when there's a dog collar match on, they're not going to hug and say, match is off, folks. We're not having it at the pay-per-view. So, again, the formatting kind of took away a little bit of it tonight.
How did you like this formatting? We got a 6 ladies tag match, or actually more of just a regular tag match. We got Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. This is, of course, to build around the fact that Baker will be defending her AEW Women's Championship this Sunday night at Revolution against Thunder Rosa. So we get a tag team match there. The heels, they worked over Rosa before we get a tag from Martinez. That sparked a comeback. The heels regained the upper hand, though. Baker, she was looking to apply the lockjaw, but she failed on that. And then we ended up getting Thunder Rosa tagging back in late as the action started to break down, and she was able to deliver the Thunder Fire Driver to the doctor and score the pinfall victory. So
which tells you she is not winning on Sunday nights.
Ain't winning on Sunday.
Nope.
There you go. We get another person that we had already seen earlier in the show, a couple of segments before. Wardlow with the chairman, your boy, Shawn Spears.
And I had to bring it up. Okay, if Sting, Darby, and Sammy Guevara just chased this goddamn group out of the ring, there they are back in the ring, 2 of the henchmen of it. Why the hell aren't they coming back out to beat the hell out of them? They know security ain't going to stop them, but they weren't found.
We got Wardlow in action against Cesar Bononi, who was 1-1. I've seen the guy so many times, but yet he's only had 2 matches. But there are people.
Well, that was his 2022 record. You're forgetting 2021 and 2020, and
sorry.
Who knows what he's doing on the YouTube shows.
There was a more competitive match last week against Nick Camarado.
Yes.
This was a straight squash match on a guy that was bigger than him.
Yes. Yeah, they're not doing themselves any favor booking the big man. It's no one will be able to beat Wardlow. A Lance Archer Wardlow match, it might not go 2 minutes now.
It shouldn't, because Lance Archer, it takes him 20 minutes to beat cruiserweights.
Yeah, that's right. Fuego del Sol, I think it was 15 minutes with him that one time. Yeah.
So Wardlow, he introduces his opponent to the Powerbomb Symphony, that Shawn Spears is, of course, jealous of because he claims that it's not over with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So he pinned him in short order. Crowd's going wild after the match. Shawn Spears, he comes into the ring to do his thing, and that's attempting to hit Cesar with his chair. Wardlow is able to snatch the steel chair out of Spears' hands. Spears stares him down. Wardlow stares him off. Wardlow's getting ready to give way to the crowd, and Spears looks like he wants to sneak back in and maybe grab his chair, maybe take one shot while he's got it at Wardlow. Wardlow catches him. Mm-hmm. Spears walks off. But they glare. Yeah. We got a commercial break. We came back. MJF, they're in the back, and Sean Spears has now, like a little bitch, he's gone to MJF, and he's told on Wardlow.
Not that he could see for himself.
He's being mean to me.
Yeah.
MJF says that he would allow Wardlow to keep his TNT championship if he wins the Face of the Revolution ladder match and the title. And then he made the comment of, not that you'll win. And then he started to walk off, and Wardlow said, well, that's because he's been so busy making sure MJF has been winning. Mm-hmm. That came back with a slap to Wardlow's face and claiming that he and his family will be out on the streets and reminding Wardlow who he works for. So clearly this is the next angle. This is to
get out of the Punk.
The white pus zit that's ready to explode as soon as the CM Punk feud is over. Yeah. I think this will come all to a head. If they're smart, they will book it that way. Wardlow finally snaps. Punk gets the victory. Wardlow has something to do with that result on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And now we can get on with the Wardlow and MJF.
Yeah, I think that's how you have to work that in. Both give them a little Punk shine, and it'll help that feud.
Is it safe to say Wardlow right now is one of the biggest baby faces in the industry right now?
I would have to say
in pro wrestling.
Crowd is on their feet when he's. I know we've seen.
Now you got to have a despicable heel opposite to make that happen too. So him being associated with MJF, clearly has a lot to do with that.
But they are up on their feet every time he does a simple power bomb, and we've seen power bombs all through the last 25 years, but. The way they're for it, this company, they're doing a good job with Wardlow. Hopefully they keep it up here, and I think, he's one of the most over right now.
All right, we got our main event, Hangman Adam Page, Dark Order versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. So the Dark Order members, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. I know what you're going to say.
This was
Undisputed, which was the most over faction of the last couple of years, having to...
Were there too many people excited about this as the main event? I don't know. This, even though it's your world champion in this, I got the feeling that he's a forgotten champion, and it's just because of the booking and whatnot. I don't think a whole hell of a lot of people cared about this match.
Yeah. We got a back-and-forth six-man tag that escalated late. All the competitors, they came to blows in the center of the ring at one point. Physical exchange finally between Page and Cole. The other four competitors, they're all outside doing their thing on the floor. Reynolds and Cole, they're paired off in the middle of the ring. And then we get the Dark Order babyface, that Rock Cole with a, sorry. So I'm trying to keep fluids down too, man. The stomach bug shit is nothing to play with. We got a pump kick. Cole was able to recover. He blasted those guys with the boom for the win. So there you go. Cole, O'Reilly, Fish, they got the victory after the match. Cole, he started to pound away at Reynolds until Page made the save. And then we got the world champ fending off the heels, but then a kick to the ankle by Fish. That slowed down the momentum. And then they ended up duct taping him to the ropes. No handcuffs. Handcuffs were not available. I don't know, Jungle Boy and Anna Jay, they were those already signed off for in the back? Or Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti?
Sammy and Tay have got claims on those.
Yeah, we got to go to the next option, duct tape, which so we got that. So they got him duct taped to the ropes, and they start brutalizing him. And from there, the champ was just kind of forced as the heels beat down and brutalized Dark Order, and then they rocked his ass too, and we end it basically with Undisputed. I mean, without Roderick Strong, I think this has been a very weak job of how Cole and O'Reilly and Fish, how these guys have been booked. But it did its job. It's the go-home show. We're getting ready to go into the pay-per-view on Sunday, and you want us to think that there somehow, some way, there is a chance that Cole, although any other wrestling card Adam Cole would be the victor over Adam Page.
Yes.
We want you to believe that he actually really does have a chance at winning this, so you make the heels look strong. No one came down for the save. Heels went off the show with their heat.
Yeah, and
I
I
was
guess
fine with it.
all three could, make the case that they'll be wearing gold at the end of the pay-per-view and reunite as, how they were at the other organization. So for that part, it was fine. But, the Page booking has just been – I don't understand it. He's supposed to be your top guy. And, this is a go-home show. You want to make him look pretty good. And obviously he's not going – it sounds like he's going to win coming up on the pay-per-view after all this. But we'll see what they leave us with.
Overall grade on this show, I would, for a go-home show, if you can – throw off the announcement that could have waited until Sunday. I mean, because you end up going over 4 hours anyways with these events.
Yeah.
So you could have really saved it for Sunday. For a go home, I'll give it a B-. I'm fine with it. Mm-hmm. They didn't do too much damage with the card. They, it seemed like everything was angled around the matches that you're going to be seeing on this card, whether it be through tag team matches or through singles matches with competitors coming out to do a stare down. We got the promo out of, Oh, and then we also got a promo as well by Jericho. Who
you forgot the Jade Cargill one where I
Jade Cargill, I said it right now, since they have this thing, they want to say shit every single week on their national television shows. My thing is, she should be the only one that can say shit because she's the only one that can actually swear on live TV, and I can believe every bit of what she's saying.
Exactly.
She comes across the back. Everyone else, it's like they're just doing it just to do it, just because they can do it, or they've been given the green light or been given the okay to do it.
Yes.
So it's not fun then.
Exactly.
So I don't know. But yeah, B- for me out of this show.
I'm with you with the B-. I it was pretty good. Like you said, there's some things here or there, hit and miss, but there seems to be, like with every show out there right now, it's not all A+ material. So we take what we get, and they set up the pay-per-view pretty good with for most of their stuff here.
Okay. For Slade, PJ, Bush League Mud Show, be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Leave some comments below, too. We want to know what you think of these two shows. We gave you both a Raw and an AEW Dynamite review of this week. We'll be back at you for news and tidbits and your SmackDown and Rampage review for Friday nights. Go ahead and also like us or follow us on social media as well. Bush League MS Pod. We'll catch you later. 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 MS Pod. We'll catch you later.